Hi everyone, my name's Scott. Welcome to Planes, Trains, Everything, and welcome to Worcester. This video started about 18 months ago. I was on a bus passing through the picturesque town of Glenrothes, and I spotted a Wetherspoons Hotel, and I thought, Wetherspoons Hotel, never heard of them. That's because I'm from Glasgow. They don't have any properties in Glasgow or on the west coast of Scotland. And I thought, one day I need to stay there. And I thought, I need to jazz the video up a little bit, and I thought, who's their biggest competitor? The biggest competitor is actually Whitbread, who own Premier Inn. But comparing Premier Inn to a Wetherspoons Hotel is not quite, very different beast. Next biggest one is Greene King. Now, Greene King are not known for their hotels in Scotland, but they do own pubs, they do own carveries, and they're big here in central England. And so I looked at a map of Wetherspoons hotels and Greene King hotels, and over a strong cup of tea I discovered that there is one place where both pub chains have a hotel, and ladies and gentlemen, it's here in Worcester. This big hotel head-to-head competition is being taken very seriously. I have a clipboard and I have a list of 20 to 25 things I'm going to be checking. Now, some things like USB points and kettles will get 1 point, but some things will get up to 5 points. For example, the power of the shower and the comfiness of the bed. In fact, there are 3 things I need to check before I even get to my room. This is where I'm staying tomorrow night, the Crown, which is one of the Wetherspoons properties. Tonight I'm staying in a place called Ye Olde Talbot, which is apparently a 13th century former coaching inn, and I'm hoping it's been refurbished since the 13th century. And here we are outside Ye Olde Talbot. The first thing on the list is the general appearance of the hotel from the outside. Now, you can only tell so much at 6 o'clock at night, but I don't see any evidence of trees growing out of gutters or paint peeling off the walls. So I'm giving it a 5 out of 5, but what I will do is tomorrow morning when I check out, I'll film it when there's a bit of daylight, and I will insert that footage right here. And here's a shot at the front of the building, which I promised you. The next 2 things on my checklist are both worth 5 points as well, each. One is the general warmth and welcoming of the reception area, and also the staff as well. And then we'll get inside and we'll check out the room. I think I'm away up the very end, room number 1. Room number 1. Right. 4, 3, 2. Private. Room number 1 to 4 is there. Well, that's got me confused. Ah, here it is. Here it is, way down here. Well, that was a bit confusing because the sign said rooms 1 to 4 that way, but room 1 was actually that way through another set of doors. But we found it. I'll give you a guided tour here in a moment. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to go down and get something to eat because I've been on the road since 7 o'clock this morning and I'm starving. The food isn't included in this review, although I will show you what I'm going to have. It's probably going to be a steak pie or something with chips, peas, and maybe a beer to wash it down, but who knows. Right, I'll meet you down at the pub. I think that's the shortcut. decisions made. Beef and Dale pie, washed down by something. I'll make that up as I go along. Apparently there's only one person in the kitchen, and as a result there could be a delay with my meal. In fact, such a delay that I haven't even taken the order, but I have managed to get a pint of San Miguel. I can stretch that out for a little while. Okay, I'm back for my dinner. Firstly, let's just catch up with where we are. This is my checklist. Reception appearance, I'm giving that a 5 out of 5 because it was fine, yep. Check-in experience, 4 out of 5. They have a little buzzer and you press that if it's unattended, and it buzzed and it buzzed and it buzzed, and after a while it stopped buzzing. And I thought, Then the guy appeared with a customer, and he had actually been there when I was outside actually filming the front of the hotel. So he'd been in there for some while, and that's why I think he was slow at getting back to the front desk, because he's been trying to settle a problem of some sort. I'm still giving it a 4 out of 5 because it wasn't a great experience. I thought I would have gotten into my room a lot quicker than that. Can't be helped, but hey, I can only report on what happened to me. Okay, the first impression of the room was the smell. It smelled musty, maybe even damp. I gave it a 3 out of 5. The bed comfort test I will be able to tell you tomorrow once I've slept in it, although it does feel rather soft for my likings. 1 point each per pillow, and there are 2 pillows, which is a good thing. There are no USBs, although there is a vacant plug socket near the bed and a table as well. 1 point for each of those. The TV remote control is clean, but the back keeps falling off, but I'll still give that a point because I'm feeling generous. There is a luggage storage area there. You could even put stuff there on that ledge if you wanted to, keeping in mind this is a 13th century former inn and all the rooms are probably different. We have got free Wi-Fi. I tried that at the pub, but I'm going to try it here. I think it's nice and strong. In fact, I was watching YouTube videos, so of course it's going to be good. They get a point for that as well. So we have 5 points for overall cleanliness. Let's just put this to the test, shall we? Right, we're going to start. Let's start here. That's clean. Although I do have a squeaky floorboard here, that. I pity the poor people beneath me. No sign of dust on the lamp. Let's just try this. Nope, spotless. Anything above these? Or on top of these? Nope, they have been cleaned as well. 5 out of 5 for cleanliness. The other thing I've got here is overall freshness. Okay, it's a nice, fresh, modern room. You've got a nice feature wall here. You've got a huge big cupboard here. A wardrobe, sorry. You've got a fan down there in case it gets warm. You've got an ironing board and an iron, which is further down my list of things to check. And there's a radiator there as well. So a point for having an ironing board and an iron. I didn't expect to find one in a room like this, but there you go. A point for the mirror. There is no safe. There is no fridge. But there is a kettle. Look at this. Now these days I'm a bit of a coffee snob and I bring my own coffee tea bags kind of things, you know. But you've got your milk, you've got your Kenko, no cookies, but that's still a point. I think we should go into the bathroom. Because I brought my UV torch with me. So in the bathroom we're going to be looking at the initial bathroom appearance, the overall cleanliness, that's where this bad boy gets used. The shower, if there's a curtain, mould, and the power of the shower, which I will be testing tomorrow morning. Right, let's get inside that bathroom. Okay, firstly, the bathroom appearance. It looks pretty clean, and I like the original woodwork there. That is so cool. Yeah, it looks clean. It's nice and fresh. It's kind of a, I don't think it's white. I think it's almost like a magnolia colour. But hey, it does the job. But we're going to have to get down to the nitty gritty. We're going to be checking now cleanliness. And of course I like that because I can play with my toy. First of all, let's look at the sink. Okay, is that actual dirt? Yes, actually, yes, it can be removed, so that is dirt. It has not been wiped. Whoa, this is seriously dirty. Look at this. This is between the toilet and the sink. Yeah, there's a lot of probably soap, because there is a soap dispenser there. That is probably just soap. There's a couple of streaky, scary bits there. Look at that. Ew. Pretty dirty. Yeah, that really hasn't been cleaned in a long time. Look at this. Look at that. I mean, seriously? The toilet bowl hasn't been cleaned in a little while. Let's have a look at this shower. That is actually pretty darn clean. Then you get down to the bath, and again, relatively okay. It's never going to be perfect. Yeah, so for the bathroom appearance, I'll give it a 5 out of 5. Cleanliness, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. Let's investigate that shower a little bit closer, because I'm sure I saw some mould. Thankfully it's not a shower curtain, it is an actual glass divide thingy, so I'm going to give them a point for that. Any sign of mould? Yeah, in fact look at that, that's falling apart here. Any sign of mould? There's cracking of the sealant, there's mould down the corner there, mould all the way up the corner here. That is actually an easy fix. It seriously is an easy fix. I could actually fix that mould for them, but I won't, because I'm a paying guest. Do you know how you fix the mould in a shower or a bath? It's so easy. You get some cheap, thick bleach, you roll up in toilet paper the size of a cigarette, you soak it in the bleach, you put it in the corner, leave it overnight, the next morning you scrape it off and it's spotlessly clean. Boom, problem solved. Why hotels can't do that? I don't know, because when you see mould in a shower you think, yeah, how hygienic is this place? Okay, just to recap the bathroom situation. Bathroom appearance, got a 5 out of 5 because it's quite modern, quite pleasant. Bathroom cleanliness was a 4. It could have been a lot dirtier, that's for sure. It could have been a bit cleaner, but there was no visible signs of dirt. It's just through the UV torch. I give them a 4. They got a point because they didn't have a shower curtain, but an actual panel. That's what I like. There was mould, so they get a 0 for that. And I'll know about the power of the shower tomorrow morning. The next category is quiet or noisy. Apart from me being noisy by yapping and walking on squeaky floorboards, I'm the noisy one, I think, tonight. But outside it's pretty quiet. There is a main road just up there, and sometimes you can hear the boy racers going past. But apart from that, it's pretty quiet, but I'll let you know in the morning. Public parking is the same as Wetherspoons. There is no public parking outside. It is nearby and it is payable. I thought breakfast was included. I'd read somewhere, maybe on booking.com, that it was included only if you pay the higher rate. And I thought, do I want to pay £12.50 or whatever it is for a full English breakfast when I could have something out in the town somewhere? Nah. So I didn't bother about that. Hours, if you're interested, 7 a.m. till 9 a.m. for breakfast. Not very generous, 2 hours. And the check-in time 2 p.m, check-out time 11, and I'll do a comparison with Wetherspoons once I get there. You don't need to know about the costs for the food down at the restaurant. Here's an interesting thing. TripAdvisor. I should not look at TripAdvisor, I really shouldn't. TripAdvisor, they get a 3.5 out of 5 on TripAdvisor, whereas Wetherspoons here get 4.5 out of 5. So why are they not that good? Well, apparently the complaints are disappointing score for rooms and sleep quality. Bar and restaurant needs TLC. Well, this room doesn't need much TLC. It's a little bit corporate. It's got dark colours and things, but hey, it's fine. The guy down in the restaurant was apologetic. They've only got one person working tonight, so they're a little bit slow. It took 20 minutes before the order was made, and I got the meal in 7. Which suggests they produce their meals the same way as Wetherspoons, if you know what I mean. So the next test is the TV. Let's put that on and see what we get. Okay, they get a point for the TV actually working, which is a relief. It's free view, so that's a barest minimum I would expect. If they had overseas channels, they would get an extra point, but they just get the 1 point for the TV working. And just one other thing worth mentioning, this is also worth a point. Menus for the restaurant, menus for breakfast. To be honest, I would have been surprised if they didn't have menus, because after all, it is owned by a pub chain. One thing I haven't shown you, but you don't get points for this, is the view. Okay, it's a downtown Worcester view. That's what you expect to get in downtown Worcester. Right, I actually brought my laptop. I've got to get some editing done because I'm way behind in my stuff. So I'm going to get cracking on that. But I will see you in the morning. We're going to be checking out by about 11. I'm going to be wandering around for about 3 hours. Might go to McDonald's or somewhere for breakfast. Then I'll be checking in at the Wetherspoons at 2 p.m. And then I will then do a summary of what they're providing and compare it with Greene King. And we'll work out who the overall winner is. Good morning everyone, it's the morning after the night before. That bed there I thought was going to be a bit soft for me, and it was a little bit soft, but I tell you what, I had such a good night's sleep, such a comfortable bed, 5 out of 5, no question. Last night I could hear quite a lot of noise from, I thought it was coming from next door. It was actually coming from downstairs, because underneath we've got the restaurant, but 11:15 it died a death. So I didn't have a problem with any noise here. The street outside was quiet as well, although I have noticed one thing now that it's daylight, and it's quite quirky. Keeping in mind this building dates from the 13th century, look at how uneven the ceiling is, and how uneven the floor is. In fact, I'm going to do a little roll test. Here's my deodorant, watch this. How cool is that? Right, I'm about to have a shower, and then I'll tell you, out of 5, what I give the shower power. Well, that's the shower completed, and it's a definite 5 out of 5. I love the retro feel of the plumbing, and in fact the water can get so hot they even have a warning to remind you the hot water is hot. Although to be honest with you, it did take a while for the hot water to heat up. I had finished my shower and it was still quite pleasantly hot. I didn't even have to use the cold water to adjust the temperature, so it was taking a little while, but then it is an old building. Another curious thing I meant to mention yesterday and forgot were the confirmations. I booked both Wetherspoons and Greene King through their own reservation websites, and the confirmations come from the same place, funnily enough. They're identical formats apart from the fact they've got their own individual logos there. Just one other thing which I forgot to mention yesterday. I got a welcome email from Wetherspoons. I didn't get one from Greene King, and for that reason Wetherspoons get a point. Now, all of these welcome emails are all automated. It's not as if a human's actually typing them and sending them out to you, saying, hey, we're looking forward to seeing you at our hotel. No, you're not. It's all done by computer these days. But you get them from Travelodge, you get them from Hilton. In fact, most hotels send out a welcome email just reminding you and telling you of what you can expect, the check-in time, that kind of stuff. But nothing from Greene King. Now that's what I call a cup of coffee. I've tallied up the points and Greene King get 60. Will Wetherspoons break that? I'm not quite sure. I think it's going to be pretty close. The plan of action is for me to finish my coffee, check out in the next 30 minutes or so, maybe get a breakfast, see some of the sights in Worcester, because I've never been here before, because I can't check into the Wetherspoons Hotel until about 2 p.m. So I will see you when we're on the road. There's even a lovely courtyard here as well. Worcester Cathedral's just across the road from here, and I'm going to have a look at this later on. First things first, I have had my coffee. I am at cruising altitude, but my stomach's empty, so I'm going to try and find some breakfast. Then we'll explore the town, because like I said, I've got a couple of hours to kill before I can check in at Wetherspoons. Well, that was Worcester Cathedral, and it was pretty darn impressive. I knew Worcester was a beautiful city, but I hadn't realised how beautiful it was. This is the River Severn, which flows through Worcester, and I had hoped to walk along the river path just down here a bit and get a good shot of the Abbey, but unfortunately, as you can tell, it's in flood. Mind you, the swans are having a great old time, aren't they? I'm so glad this challenge is being done in Worcester. What a beautiful city and what a beautiful discovery. I'm so glad it wasn't like Bognor Regis or someplace. With all due respect to the good people of Bognor Regis, I'm glad I came to Worcester. I also love the Tudor-style buildings which are dotted around the city. It's a shame they're not in the one area, otherwise that would be a UNESCO World Heritage Site. I absolutely love Tudor buildings. This is also quite fascinating as well. It's the marina here in Worcester. I'm sure I read somewhere you can rent boats like this out. Not here in Worcester, of course, they're all for rent, but up in Scotland on the Forth and Clyde Canal. I'm sure you can do it up there during the summer months. How cool would that be? That one's for sale, £36,950. Now, how would I get that up to Paisley? My imagination's getting carried away. I'm thinking if Sue, myself, Blair, and even Jasper the cat went on one of these for a week, it'd be absolute carnage. It really would be.
So, anyway, I did it and I made the pot, so I turned into it. Then I was just getting on doing it.
I'd love to live in there. This is stunning. And here I am joking that if all these buildings are in the one area, Worcester could be a UNESCO World Heritage Site. And that's me back at Ye Old Talbot again, so I've done the full loop. I might go and get some lunch, I think. Okie dokie, it's just gone 2 PM, which means I can now check in at The Crown, which is at Wetherspoons Hotel. I also want to offload this bag because it's starting to get a bit heavy, because it has a laptop in it.
Next week.
And here we are at The Crown. It's a standard single. Firstly, points for outside, it looks immaculate, 5 out of 5 for that. The reception area is small, but it's functional, it does the job, 5 out of 5. And the lady who saw me checked in, 5 out of 5. In fact, she was brilliant. In fact, if this ends up being a draw between Wetherspoons and Greene King, I'm going to give her a 5 out of 5 with a plus. That will be the tiebreaker. As I was walking along the hall to my room, It felt as if the place had been recently refurbished. It had this kind of a new smell to it, and it's so bright and airy. Just like this room, I really love it. It does have a violin on the wall. I'm not quite sure why there's a violin there, but hey, who's complaining? Right, on my list I've got room first impression. It looks lovely. 5 out of 5 for that. The bed comfort test will come shortly. Well, tonight anyway. The pillows, 1 point for each pillow. 2 pillows, 2 points. Vacant plug sockets next to the bed. Right, let's go hunting. Okay, we have a small bedside table here, and one on that side as well. That's 1 point. We have on each side power points, but we also have USBs. There's 2 there, and there's 2 there, and that's 1 point per USB, because very often people like me need to charge more than one thing at a time. There's a TV, which we will try later. There is the remote control, looking very, very clean indeed, actually. We've got a kettle and all the important things, even complimentary water. There's no fridge, and there is no safe. There's a point on offer for storage space. You could store a suitcase there if you wanted to, or better still bring this out and use it. There's a point, full-size mirror, and there's also one there as well by the desk. In case you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm trying out the old bed here. This is a firm bed, and I think I'm going to enjoy sleeping on that tonight. We've got an ironing board and an iron. That's a bonus point. One thing that they have here which they didn't have at the old Talbot was this. A hairdryer, but you don't get bonus points for that because I hadn't thought of that. Overall freshness when you come into the room, lovely, 5 out of 5. Right, we're now going to look for dust. Nope. What about the mirror? Hello. Nope. A little bit there, a little bit. Yeah, there's a bit of dust there. They haven't cleaned that for a little while. They see this thingy bit. What about up here above the bed? No, that's clean. That is clean up here. So it's really just this very obvious bit they haven't done. So although there was some dust on this, otherwise the place is spotless. It has been cleaned. Yep, so I'm just giving that a 5 out of 5. When I came in, took my jacket off and put my bag down, I thought, where's the toilet? I thought this was like ensuite. Don't tell me there's a shared toilet. I actually went outside to have a look, couldn't find one, and I thought, I wonder what's around that corner there. Yep, you've guessed it. Right, let's have a look at this. Initial appearance, it's absolutely modern, spotless. 5 out of 5 for that. There is no shower curtain. It is a walk-in shower. I love that. This is actually very nice. Very nice indeed. Any sign of mold? No. I'm actually starting to wonder how long they've had this property because it looks almost brand new. It can't be more than 6 months old. I've just noticed some things as well which they don't get points for, but it's something they have which Greene King don't offer. Shortbread fingers and a phone, dial 0 for reception. Right, let's check out the bathroom under the UV light. This is the bit I like, and the bit that terrifies me. Right, firstly the wash hand basin. There's some specs, it's never going to be spotless I don't think, although that looks a bit grim, doesn't it? Okay. Around the toilet, interesting splashy marks. No idea what's been going on there. That's a bit worrying, isn't it? The toilet itself, that is pretty manky down there. What has been going on down here? Yeah, whereas Greene King got a 4 out of 5 for bathroom cleanliness, that is actually pretty dirty in there once you put the UV light on it. I'm giving them a 3. However, but that's about the only thing which they've had a bad score for. Here's a little observation behind the curtain here. There's actually more power points, but it's this gas alarm. They didn't have that at the old Talbot. 2 more USBs, which means 2 more points. 6 USBs in a room. Wow. One thing I didn't mention when I was staying at the old Talbot was how much are these rooms? These rooms were booked maybe 6-7 weeks ago, just so I could get the cheapest possible price. They're non-changeable, non-refundable, and as you can see, they're just a single. It's just for one night. The old Talbot was £58.50. The Crown, £62.10. So there's not a lot in these, but so far the difference is incredible. Right, I've just noticed the power on this GoPro is nearly at 0, so I'm going to have to get that charged. I just have to decide which of the 6 USB points will I use. And before I forget, I'll show you the view out the window as well. Fortunately, there are no points on offer for views. I've just been working for the last hour or two and I thought, here's a couple of things which I should mention to you. And I think I mentioned this when we were at the old Talbot. Here at Wetherspoons, they send you a welcome email telling you what the check-in time, check-out time is, where the local car park is, that kind of stuff. They get a point, whereas Greene King don't send that. Also, I'm going to tell you what they say on TripAdvisor. 3.5 out of 5 was Greene King, and here it's a 4.5 out of 5. And yes, you can see the difference already. I can see where the extra 1 comes from. They do have issues with cleanliness, according to TripAdvisor. This is a fairly clean room. There are lots of complaints about bar staff, rude staff in bar. That seems to be the thing. But in regards to the hotel, I can't really fault this place. Being run by a pub brand, you'd expect to find these, and sure enough, it's Wetherspoons. They've got their menus here, and I will be having a fry at breakfast tomorrow. Also, something which the lady at the front desk told me, if I take this cup down to Wetherspoons, which is just on the other side of the reception area, they have a self-service coffee machine, and I can help myself to a coffee. That's pretty good. And also the Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi is really strong. I've watched some videos, I've been able to upload, download, that kind of thing. Unlike the old Talbot, I could access Wi-Fi on my phone, but I couldn't access it on the laptop. Here, no problem whatsoever. And now we're going to turn on the TV to see if we have something other than Freeview.
Today that they had reached the
And the answer is no, it's Freeview only. Here's one thing I have noticed about the TV. All the buttons work. You can mute this, but for some reason the TV will not turn off. The channels work fine. That'll be BBC News. But you cannot turn the TV off unless you use that secret button at the back there. Did Elgar play the violin? His statue's here. Being an old building, this floor is also not even. It's that kind of thing which makes really old buildings like this so quirky. Anyway, I'm getting ready for bed. I'll see you in the morning. Good morning, everybody. Before I start on the last round of scoring, a couple of observations which I'd like to share with you. At the old Talbot, we had an oil-based radiator. Here you've actually got proper heating and air conditioning. And 2 observations in the bathroom. One is you get a shower mat. At the old Talbot you had to ask for it. And here there's also a heated mirror, which is actually a nice touch. This is actually a very nice room. Okay, there was one other thing as well. Remember I came in here and I thought, what's the story with the violin? Of course, down here in this lamp, musical notes, and the carpet itself, I hadn't noticed at the time, has got a musical theme as well. And why is that? Well, Edward Elgar was from Worcester. Very subtle, but I like it. Okay, the final scoring. This bed here, extremely comfortable, 5 out of 5, no question whatsoever. Shower again, good, strong, hot shower, 5 out of 5. And in regards to the room itself, I couldn't hear a peep out there, 5 out of 5. Not quite a perfect score for Wetherspoon hotels, but 65 for the Old Talbot, 73 for the Crown. So Wetherspoon Hotels here in Worcester won, not quite by a country mile, but a lot. It wasn't a perfect score. They were let down by the overall cleanliness of the bathroom under the UV light, but they made up for it in regards to the number of USBs around the room. 6. Right, I'm going to head down and I'm going to get some breakfast. There's something about Wetherspoon's full English breakfasts which I don't like. I know they're done on the cheap, they are very cheap, and you can tell by the quality sometimes that it's a bit but hey, it fills a hole, especially this time in the morning, and it's convenient as well, because as soon as you step out of reception, boom, there's Wetherspoon's. I am going to check with the lady at reception when I'm checking out about the age of this place, because like I've said, it's so immaculate. It's almost either very new or it's been recently refurbished. But when it comes to a competition, Wetherspoon beat Greene King by quite a bit. There was actually no competition in it. Don't get me wrong, the Old Talbot, it was a fantastic hotel, very quirky, and it's very historic as well. But this is another level again. This has been a really nice room. It's time to check out. I'll give you a quick summary when we're outside in the rain. I had hoped to speak to someone at reception to ask how long Wetherspoons had had that hotel, whether it was just a brand new property for them or whether it had just been refurbished, but there was no one there. There was an express checkout box. Slip your key in the box and away you go. So I was wondering, what was it that won this competition for Wetherspoons? More accurately, what was it that lost it for Greene King? They had absolutely no USBs, and that's important to me, and probably to anyone who's trying to recharge a phone. And also when I went into the room at the Old Talbot, there was a kind of a musty smell, and that lost points. That's where they lost the competition. So anyway guys, thanks very much for coming along to Worcester with me and trying out Wetherspoons and Greene King hotels for the first time. Hope you enjoyed the competition. See you next time.